Second night in a row, another blockbuster deal in the NBA with the trade deadline coming up on Thursday, February 6th. AaronFox got his wish after rumors over the last few days. He wanted to go to San Antonio, and he does in a big three-team blockbuster deal. So the Spurs get AaronFox, Jordan McLaughlin, Sacramento Kings get Zach LaVine, City Sacasco, 3 first-round picks, a 2025 Charlotte Hornet pick, 2027 Spurs pick, 2031 Minnesota Timberwolves pick, and 3 second-rounders, a 25 Bulls pick, 28 Denver, and a 2028 their own pick back in that deal with the Spurs. And the Bulls get Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 pick back from the Spurs in another deal. So another blockbuster deal. Like I said, and AaronFox, he wanted out that he wasn't going to sign an extension with this Sacramento King team. So we heard talks were going on over the last few days, and now this trade comes to fruition with the Bulls being a good facilitator in the deal. So now he joins Wembanyama, and this is going to be a great 1-2 combo, I believe, over there. Even though right now San Antonio, they've been struggling over the last couple weeks here, where they were playing well early in the season, but their numbers, they've been starting to lose up ball games. So AaronFox, in terms of fantasy basketball, I think his assists are going to go up, and the scoring for the most part is going to stay in the same range on the season. 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6.1 assists, 1.5 steals, 2 threes, and 46% from the field for Fox. So Fox, he's been a great player over the last few seasons, and now gets his wish, teaming up with Victor Wembanyama. And the other thing is they didn't have to give up Stephon Castle, who they drafted this season early in the first round, was a Spurs team with Devin Vassell. They didn't have to trade as well in this deal. So AaronFox, he gets to the San Antonio Spurs team. And like I said, they didn't really trade big assets in this deal besides the draft picks. But in terms of young players and up-and-coming players, they didn't give much to AaronFox. Like I said, his fantasy value, I believe the scoring will be similar. The assists will be similar, even though Chris Paul's still over there. And we'll see if he's going to start at the 2-guard Fox, or Paul's going to come off the bench now. And also they get Jordan McLaughlin in this deal as well, where it's just a filler in this deal. McLaughlin hasn't seen the court really this season, so he's just a filler back end of the bench player. Obviously, for things to pan out now, Zach LaVine, he goes to the Sacramento Kings, and he could step right into a good scoring role with Zach LaVine. Obviously, they got to make up 25 points per game that is lost with AaronFox in this deal, and obviously that's right on par with what LaVine does this season. 24 a game, 4.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 3.2 threes, and 51% from the field. So Zach LaVine, the last 2 seasons, the Chicago Bulls were trying to get rid of him. And this year, he built his value back up after no one wanted him the last 2 years. And the Bulls just wanted to get rid of his contract, and they do in this deal. So now he's back teaming up with DeMar DeRozan, where they played many seasons over there in Chicago together. And also, like I said, I don't think his numbers are going to go down as well. I know he's there with DeRozan, and obviously Sabonis, but now with a big hole left from AaronFox scoring-wise, LaVine is going to pick up with those numbers, I believe, in this lineup for this King team. And going back a few years ago as well, when he was a free agent with Zach LaVine, he signed an offer sheet, but obviously it didn't come to fruition where the offer was matched for LaVine. And he obviously, with the Chicago Bulls, and also in this deal, they get Sidney Kako, which obviously he hasn't played much. He's in with the San Antonio Spurs, and another guy that's just filler. But the Kings, they made out well in this deal. You get Zach LaVine, you get 3 first-round picks and 3 second-rounders, which are valuable for other trades, especially those second-round picks as well for some bench depth. But like I said, the Kings, I thought did a great job in this deal. You got LaVine, who was rejuvenated this season, scoring the basketball well. Obviously, he's very familiar with DeMar DeRozan. And to get 3 first-rounders in this deal as well, where Luka Doncic, he only got 1 for him in that deal with Anthony Davis in last night's trade. And now the Chicago Bulls, like I said, they wanted to get rid of the contract of Zach LaVine, and they were trying to trade him over the last couple seasons, where LaVine said he wanted to stay in Chicago over the last couple days. But obviously now he's gone and off to Sacramento. So Kevin Huerter this season, he hasn't had much of a role with the Kings, and he was an expendable player in the deal. 7.9 points a game, 2.8 boards, 1.7 assists, 1.4 threes, and 41% from the field. So we know he's a 3-point shooter. That's about it with Kevin Huerter. And it wouldn't be surprising to me if they buy him out or he gets flipped in another deal before Thursday's deadline is Kevin Huerter. So like I said, this Bull team was about that pick, getting their own pick back in the trade, and Zach Collins, who has upside as a young forward as well in the league. And Zach Collins on the year, he hasn't played much as well, though. 4.6 points a game, 2.8 boards, 1.4 assists, 46% from the field. So last season, Collins, he had a decent season as a bench piece, 11.2 a game with 5.4 boards. And now he goes to the Chicago Bulls. And obviously playing time is going to be there. And I believe Nikola Vukovic is going to be traded any day now as well before the deadline. And also they get Trey Jones, who is a highly touted player coming out of college. But obviously he hasn't done much, as well as Jones, over the last couple seasons for the San Antonio Spurs team, where he was another player where his playing time went down this season, where last year he was decent off the bench, 10 a game, 3.8 boards, 6.2 assists, and a steal. So San Antonio, they went for it. They got their man. And the funny thing about it as well, they still got 8 first-round picks, 6 of them being theirs, where they still could go out there before Thursday's deadline and make a trade where they still got the assets and some of the younger guys. Like Stephen Castle, even though if they didn't trade him in this deal, I don't see them trading him. Devin Vassell, and also Keldon Johnson has obviously some value as well. So I think the Spurs made out good in this deal. Sacramento, they made out good. You got Zach LaVine, you got 3 first-round picks. And the Bulls, they just wanted to get rid of that contract. 2 young players in the deal and their pickbacks. I think this trade's pretty fair for all the teams involved in this one. They did what they had to do in terms of the Kings getting what they wanted. The Bulls, as a facilitator in the deal, getting rid of a bad contract, in their opinion. And obviously, AaronFox was this San Antonio Spurs team #1 target, especially with all the draft pick assets. AaronFox in the second Blockbuster 2 nights in a row traded to the San Antonio Spurs. We'll see if he can help the Spurs team to the playoffs this season, and this could be a future great 1-2 combo with Fox and Wembanyama for many years to come.